Good morning, everyone. So today I'm going to discuss a lot about microbiome, right? And what questions we should ask when we want to understand our microbiome, whether it is gut or oral or vagina or skin or scalp, right? Before that, let me start with a basic statement, right? That we currently have all science and technology in place to prevent and reverse range of chronic diseases, right? Whether it is diabetes, obesity, depression, anxiety, cardiovascular diseases, cancer situations, skin issues, everything, right? Uh, we now and these technologies are available at a relative competitive cost, so as to speak, right? And we can now understand or create the biochemical persona of our body, what is going on inside our body, what molecular activities are going on inside your body, right? And the starting point obviously is gut microbiome, right? So over last 3 to 4 years, we have seen a lot of traction around gut microbiome. There are a number of companies who are coming up with gut microbiome test, right? And I'm going to tell you a few questions you should ask when you are signing up for a gut microbiome test, right? And why we at Genefitletics feel that it is not a test, right? First thing is that, so I'm going to talk about red flags. First thing is that there are different technologies to look at. One is 16S RNA, which is generally decodes the which bacteria are existing in your gut. Only bacteria and that 2V3, V4 category, right? And that is just not covers the entire microbial species inside your gut. Second thing is, whole genome sequencing again, which covers all the bacteria, viruses, yeast, fungi, everything. But again, their presence, their diversity, their alpha and beta diversity, right? So it means how much of each bacteria and species or viruses is there, right? And category of each class or genus of bacteria and viruses and various microbes. Third and the most important is metatranscriptomics, which focus on the transcript analysis, which focus on the RNA, messenger RNA, mRNA, which focus on the what genes they are expressing, what functions they are performing, what metabolites they are producing, right? So if your gut microbiome test where you want to sign up, they tell that we tell you the which bacteria is there, what is the presence of bacteria. It's a complete red flag. It is not going to tell you anything because, understand the basic common language that our cells, right, do not have brain or eyes. They only listen the biochemical signals. So what you need to decode is the biochemical activities and functions being performed by the microbiome, right? The genes expressed by the microbiome, right? So having a bacteria is something is not going to tell you whether you have a disease or not, right? It is what they are doing, what metabolites they're secreting. So if a company which is telling you that you have these bacteria, these diversity, it is a complete waste of money, right? You do not get bogged by that, and do not fall for such solutions or such tests, so to speak, right? Uh, so again, before I step to the next step is that you understand that these are the microbial DNA, right? And your DNA does not change. For instance, if you have Fusobacterium nucleatum inside your gut, which by the way is a whole microbiome, right? If you have it, doesn't mean you will have colon cancer or you will have, irritable bowel syndrome, irritable bowel disease. It depends on whether it is expressing virulence genes, which is triggering a certain production of pro-inflammatory molecule, which is causing that disease, right? So when there are always an external trigger, right? It can be food, it can be environment, right? These external triggers make lead to, make your certain genes turn on. This DNA is copied into RNA. RNA is something which transform gene sequence into protein. Then this protein is what inhibits, activates, or performs certain functions, right? It is the expression of the genes which determines whether the microbiome is producing pro-inflammatory metabolites or anti-inflammatory metabolites, right? So it is really, really important to understand their functions, what metabolites they are producing, right? Second thing, and the most important one. So these metabolites have to be decoded in various biological pathways, right? So there are uh, 50 plus pathways, which are again Mavic orthologs, and they tell you the actual metabolites being produced. If someone say, okay, you have an potential to produce, your body or microbiome has a potential to produce bitrate, acetate, or phytin, phytophosphate, it does not say anything. It just tell you have a bacteria that may or may not produce, right? So you need to understand whether your bacteria is actually active and producing, what is the level of production, how much it is being produced, right? And how that production is impacting your physiology, right? So these are the right questions you should ask. Second thing is, when it comes to personalizing nutrition as medicine based on your microbiome, again, the companies or wherever you want to sign up, they should tell which food you should consume, in what quantity, in what frequency. That is the precision, right? If they are telling, okay, you consume this food one time, two times, three times, they don't tell the quantity, right? Or more worse, if they are planning your diet in three different stages, right? And they are telling you, what you have to eat in each stage, it is completely red flag, because you know you need to collect and track your longitudinal data to see the impact. Suppose you have followed a recommendation in phase one, and again, you have to see how the impact has happened on various disease symptoms, right? This has a lot of longitudinal data has to be collected, right? And that drives the next set of recommendations, right? So if that company is not, if that testing company is not doing it, it's completely waste of money and time, right? Third thing, right? Uh, if they are giving you recommending you prebiotic and probiotic supplements, right? Now, what I mean by prebiotic and probiotic supplement is they're telling you probiotic species, right? For instance, Lactobacillus acidophilus, right? Each species would have hundreds of strains, and each strain would interact differently in your body based on what is your current microbiome composition, which microbes are active, what they are producing. There has been a cross feeding, diet feeding, a lot of these activities, right? So you really need to understand which strain you need, how much you need, right? Why you need, right? Until when you need to take that. These are the questions you should when someone is recommending you probiotic based on your gut microbiome uh, testing, right? Fourth thing, right? See, there are, if when you eat a meal, there are, hundreds of molecules which go to your gut microbiome, right? And there are a lot of biochemical activities happening. So no individual nutritionist, coach, or biotechnologist can decode such a huge mammoth data sets, right? So if a company is saying we are giving you a nutritionist, we are giving you a counselor, it's again a red flag. It would be driven by anecdotal evidence, guesswork, their own belief system of what have worked for some of their clients in the past, right? So these are the questions you really need to understand. You don't need to know which bacteria that doesn't matter, right? What you need to do, what you need to know is which bacteria there, what they are active, what they are doing, what they are performing, what functions they are performing, what metabolites they are secreting, what genes they are expressing, right? You really need to have precision nutrition, which has to be data driven, exact amount of which food you need, right? How much you need, right? what is the frequency, and again there has to be a lot of longitudinal data to be collected to actually track the improvement in symptoms if it is happening. Third thing, supplementation. If you're recommending prebiotics and probiotic supplement, it has to be precise on how much you need, which strain you need, why you need, right? Which pathway it will trigger, right? So that is really, really important, right? Fourth point is you don't need a nutritionist here, right? And I explain this why, because there's huge data sets coming out, right? So again, we at Genefitletics are focused on giving you the entire biochemical persona inside your body, right? So we started with gut microbiome. So gut microbiome is a starting point, but it is not the only, organ inside the body which holds key to a lot of biochemical activities. There are bacteria living in a mouth, there in the vagina. So we collect data from every single microbial gene expression. We are focused not on which microbe is there, but we are focused on what function they're performing, what genes they are expressing, right? So you can find answer to question such as what genes are being expressed, what microbial genes are being expressed, right? What molecular pathways are being encoded, what molecular pathways are active, what is causing molecular inflammation in the mouth, inflammation in the mouth or in the gut, right? What my microbes are doing, how my immune system is reacting to it, right? What is my absorption for various vitamins and minerals, right? What is my glycemic response to a particular food? So, for instance, I'm going to eat almond, spinach, or broccoli, or some other food. How is it going to impact my insulin response, whether it is going to spike my insulin or not, right? Why I have food intolerances, right? How I can transit from an unhealthy state to a healthy state, right? What interaction is happening inside the body between various molecules, right? What my endothelial cells and epithelial cells are doing, are reacting inside the body, right? What is my risk of various diseases? What pathways trigger maybe type 2 diabetes or cardiovascular or chronic kidney disease, right? So these are the questions we help you answer. We study your genes expression, microbial, gut, oral, and vaginal microbial genes expression. You can get answer to all these questions. We are entirely data driven, right? There is no guesswork, no belief system, no nutritionist here, right? We we collect your molecular data, we collect your phenotype data, we analyze it through our machine learning algorithm and convert into various scientific recommendations, right? Which impacts hard to detect signals, molecular signals. So we can tell you what is going to make you develop, for instance, type 2 diabetes or cardiovascular disease, right? Or any other disease, right? Again, we collect a lot of longitudinal data, so we may give you recommendations for a month, and after a month we will collect and track your longitudinal data, analyze your longitudinal data, and then again change your recommendation, which is based on improvement in your symptoms, right? Again, it is all data driven. Third thing, we also overcome the gap in carving out a diet plan. So we had now technology in place here based on your recommendations. You can actually carve out a diet plan, within our platform and download it, right? You can do in advance for 7 days, right? So you can select what food I have to eat in dinner, right? In breakfast and lunch, right? For the next 7 days. And uh, again based on the quantity we have recommended, right? That's a maximum quantity, right? So these are the right questions you should ask. We are giving you the entire biochemical persona of your body. You can know everything, every single biochemical activity happening inside the body. You need to understand the function, not which microbe is there, right? You want to know more, right? Whether or you want to sign up for a gut microbiome or a microbiome solution, please do reach out to us, right? We'll be happy to help. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.